Hello there everybody, Germ here. Just wanted to let you all know, if you want to support the show, if you want to make sure you stay in tune with all the new updates that we got going on, make sure you go and check out my website, kineticaesthetic.net. On that site you can find a whole bunch of stuff related to the show. You can find a whole bunch of just little blog posts on all my episodes when they drop. You can use that to stay in tune, so make sure you never miss anything that I release. You can also find some merch that I got going on. Right now I just got some necklaces going on. There's some hot shit. You should go check it out. But if you want to stay in tune, like I said, just make sure you go and check out kineticaesthetic.net. Once again, that is kineticaesthetic.net. This is your boy Germ saying, I appreciate you for doing it. Friends, colleagues, family, anyone that just wants to hear my voice, I would like to thank you all for listening. This is another installment of Kinetic Aesthetic, and I am your host, if you don't know by now, Germ. Now, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that I'm pretty sure that y'all have been hearing about, y'all have been seeing. If you got any social media, y'all probably have seen this debate raging on. I, of course, am talking about Certified Lover Boy or Donda, Kanye West or Drake. Which artist came out and dropped a better project in these last couple of weeks? Which one is going to have more longevity? Which one is going to have more stamina in it? So I decided I'm going to just follow this trend. This is one wave I'm going to decide to just ride, and I'm going to drop my own takes on it. So I've listened to both. I've had enough time to really dissect them both, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let you all know which one is better than the other. I'm going to do them both one at a piece, then at the end I'm going to just sort of wrap it all up by comparing them. But that is that. This is my first episode in a while. I wanted to make sure I listened to both of these, thoroughly, I want to say. Just make sure I gave them both enough time to sit and digest before I tried to get one out. That's why I didn't want to just rush and do it right when Drake dropped it. So I'm going to do that. I will say, this is just one announcement I want to make. There will be no more weekly wrap-ups going forward. That specific segment for me personally has just been the hardest one to keep up with because it's always about staying so current with it. And I feel like I'm neglecting to drop full episodes on certain topics and things that happen that I want to talk about a little bit more in depth, but instead I'm just sort of limiting myself to like segments on a show. And I think that's just been making it a lot more difficult for me to really just get the things in that I want to talk about and get my full points across, or just I'm trying to like wrap up like a minute of like thoughts that'll take up like 30 minutes in like 5 minutes or 2, and that just ain't gonna work for me. So going forward, there will be no more weekly wrap-ups. I'm still gonna be dropping on Mondays. It's just that'll be more likely to be full episodes. I might end up starting to drop like full episodes twice a week. I will keep you all posted going forward. I just wanted to make sure I was transparent about that. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is Donda versus Certified Lover Boy, and we're going to start off by reviewing Donda first. Now, if you're like me and you have sensitive skin that requires that special bit of care, and you need something that's going to work a little bit better than just regular Vaseline or lotion, what you need to do is stop what you're doing, go to Instagram right now and search up Body Butter. That's BODYBUTTAA. It's made by my homegirl Ashley. It's made using nothing but natural ingredients, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, the shit works like magic. It comes in men's scents and women's scents. She's got Summer Seduction, Vanilla Cocoa, and Baby Powder, and Gentleman scents. She's got a whole bunch of summer scents that she's working on right now that are going to be coming out. It's just everything that you can look for in a good alternative to lotion or Vaseline, and it works like a charm. It makes your skin glow, it makes your skin glisten, and it'll last you for a long time. So if you're looking for something that's going to work a little bit better, that's going to make you feel even better, then you need to go and search up Body Butter. Once again, that's BODYBUTTAA. Works like a charm, and honestly, it makes me feel that much better. Now, the first album that we're going to review, of course, we're going to be talking about Kanye West, Donda. This one came to us on August 29th, 2021, and it was definitely, it had its own, it's definitely turned into another era of Kanye's career. This has been hinted at for a while. He really initially had it slate to drop on July 24th. Then the delays just started. He had organized he's had like 3 different little stadium events where he just come out and did live, just let people listen to the music live as it was going on. He did one at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Then he did another one there on August 5th. He even held one at Soldier Field in Chicago on August 26th. And all those times the album was, people thought, okay, he's going to drop the album that night, and he didn't. So eventually this one dropped on, like I said, the 29th. It dropped with only the clean version. I'm pretty sure that's still the only version that's out, so do with that with what you will. But you know what? I will say it's definitely, it feels like a Kanye album, and this is definitely his best work in years. So it was well worth the wait. It was 27 songs, which is a lot. That is a lot of music for any artist to drop. This is not a deluxe or anything. This is literally just 27 songs. I'm going to say, okay, it's 23 songs if you don't count all the part 2s on there. But either way, this is just a very long album. It's an hour and 48 minutes, so you're going to be in to have to sit down and just, listen to it. But it's worth it. You know what? Even if you're not a fan of Kanye, I feel like it felt like such a culmination of all the different things that he's been doing throughout his career. He just had Jesus is King before this, which was a full-on gospel album. You've got some rapping Kanye on this. You've got some just different experimental type Kanye from that little middle period of his career and everything. So it feels like it's like a culmination. There's a lot of features on it. He's got pretty much, it's almost like, I know Uzi made a joke about it, but this is literally like an all-star game of an album. That's how many different people are on there. That's all the people he has working on it. You've got appearances from The Weeknd, Jay-Z, you've got Travis Scott, you've got Lil Durk, you've got Lil Baby, you've got I'm trying to think. I'm probably gonna miss some people on here, so forgive me if I miss anybody on this song. You've got Young Thug on here. You've got I know what's his name. He's with the Griselda type dudes. You got Kid Cudi on here. You've got a lot of different artists on here. You got Lauryn Hill that just made a little small appearance on one track. He got as many people as he could on here. And I will say this about it. Every artist that he got featured on there, they did everything they could to make sure that this was like a highlight of their careers. Like, everybody came in and did something. The only person who had a feature that was really lacking for me was Jay-Z. I know a lot of people have hyped it up, made it seem like it was such a big one. That verse was weak. Jay-Z has come harder than that. He will probably release verses in the future that are much harder than that. That was a weak verse. It felt lazy. It felt uninspired. And it wasn't the best one he dropped this month. I'll say that to y'all right now. But once again, the album, it definitely has it has some songs on here that have some staying power. Donda Chant, the opening. At first, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Then once I learned sort of the background behind it, how it's like a representation of his mom's final heartbeats. Beautiful. Amazing. I love it. I will say, like I said about the song with Jay-Z, I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the music at first up until Hurricane. Like, I didn't like Jail. I know some people won't believe that. Some people be like, damn, that was one of the better songs. I didn't like Off the Grid either. Neither of those songs are my favorites. Neither of those are probably going to get a lot of replays. Hurricane was when it really started to get good. After that, off to the races. 24, amazing song. Remote Control, amazing song. Believe What I Say, beautiful. Junior, the album just goes after that point. It feels like that was right when he really just like locked in. That was when everything just started to click for me. It was just a really good album after that point. I'm gonna say, I might sound like I'm being harsh or like I don't like it, and I don't want that to be taken as the case. It is a good album. It's very, very solid. It's like, it's not old Kanye. Like, it's not any of the stuff he's dropped, before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That was all like, okay, this is at least a 9 or 8 out of 10. This isn't that, but it's definitely not stuff like Yay. It's not something like Jesus is King, where some people might feel like, okay, yeah, that's a good album, but it's like, It just isn't him operating in his like field at the best. This is a solid project, so he does deserve a lot of credit for this. It's hard for anyone to just make all the noise and have all the outside stuff affecting their music and affecting how they're being seen, to still come out and drop a project of this quality that's going to, you know, drown out all the nonsense. But I think Kanye did that, so I think he deserves a lot of credit. And yeah, I think it's a solid project. The first couple songs weren't really hitting for me, but after that it was smooth sailing, so I'd have to give this a nice passing grade. And I'm going to see how I like it compared to Certified Lover Boy, which I'm about to talk about now. You know him, you love him, you might hate him, but it is time that we talked about him. I, of course, am speaking about Drake, the undisputed at this point #1 rapper in the world, at least if we're talking about numbers. Now, Certified Lover Boy, he dropped this one on September 3rd. It came 1 week after it. There was a lot of rumors that Kanye was trying to make sure he dropped Donda on the same day as Certified Lover Boy. That would have been interesting to see who would have won that sales-wise, because I know that's the only reason you do that. But with all that being said, Drake was able to drop on his day unopposed by any other major figure in the music world, and he dropped something that's going to, at least in this honest reviewer's opinion, have a little bit of staying power. I definitely think this is a step up compared to his albums like Scorpion. I feel like this is a lot better than Dark Demo Tapes, even though that one doesn't really count as a full project, I know, but just compared to some of the stuff he's dropped in the past couple of years, this is probably one of the better outputs. It's interesting, really, when I think about it, because I think I even said this when I was reviewing Scorpion for my Drake albums review, that Scorpion really felt like, it just felt like it was way too long and bloated. And I stand by that. That was a very bloated album. But it's funny because this album is 21 songs, yet it does not feel that long. Like, I can sit and I can listen to this album and I can get through the full thing and I won't feel like, okay, I need to pause this at a certain point. I'm just tired of listening. I have not gotten to that point with this album yet. Not every song is my favorite. I'm not going to say that I think it's just a front to back, everything is just great album, but it's rideable. You can sit and you can just ride to this and you won't have a problem. And that is why I really just feel like this is going to be my hot take when it comes on this little section, but I definitely think this is probably going to be, at the very least, number 5 on Drake's albums list. This is a very solid project. It's definitely better. Yeah, it's solid. Now, I will come out when it comes to just the album itself. Champagne Poetry is not his best intro. It's not. He's definitely sort of cooled off in terms of making fire-ass intros in this later stage of his career. He ain't making any more Tuscan Leathers, any more Over My Dead Bodies. He ain't making another Fireworks. He just might not be doing that anymore. He's not making another Legend. But it's solid. It's serviceable. And Poppy's Home, literally the second song is where I was just like, damn, he's really going for the jugular. He's really just talking this shit at this point. Because at this point, Drake knows he's had a legendary career. He's doing way better than pretty much a lot of other people have ever done or even dreamed of doing. He knows who he is. He knows where he stands. This man literally just came on the song laughing, telling all these other rappers, yo, I'm sorry I didn't give you, I was gone. I was just away, giving y'all nothing to talk about. It's a flex. It really feels like at this point Drake is just sort of flexing as much as he can on all the people that are below him. You know, there's really, like as I've said before, there's 3 rappers in this game right now that they're just goated at this point. It still feels like they're running the game like 2 decades in at this point. Of course, I'm talking about not 2 decades, a decade and a half at most. Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, those 3, and on all 3 of on both the albums that they've dropped from them so far from that trio, Kendrick's is probably coming up soon. They've pretty much just sort of been sounding like, you know what, I know I'm in my own lane at this point. I'm goated, I'm a legend. There's nothing that none of these young dudes, none of these young niggas could say about me. And they whole bravado on their songs reflects it. And that's Drake on this whole album, just flexing on everybody. Poppy's Home was good. In the Bible, it actually came across as a very good Drake verse. Not Drake, but Lil Durk verse. I have not, as much as I respect Lil Durk and what he's been doing for the city of Chicago, he was never my favorite, and I'm still a big G Herbo fan over him. But he snapped on this album. He did his thing. He came through. He came correct. Giveon, solid little piece that he did. Jay-Z on Love All. Now, I know I talked about Jay-Z's verse on Kanye's album earlier. This was a complete 180. It had a little bit more oomph to it. He sounded like he was more engaged with the whole product. It was a solid emotional verse on Donda, you know, talking about I got your son, talking to his mom, Donda. This one just felt like it was him really, really trying to come correct. Like he just wanted to make a solid verse. That one just felt like he wanted to say something nice for Kanye's album. This one felt like I just wanted to make sure I keep up with Drake and not let him outshine me on this. So that was nice. I really enjoyed that verse. Fair Trade is a good song. Way Too Sexy might be, it's already just going to become a smash. It's definitely not the best song on the album, but it's already going to be a smash. TSU, beautiful song. In Too Deep, amazing song. Yeba's Heartbreak might be the saddest song of the year, but it's the most beautiful. I replayed that at least 200 times already. I just love it. No Friends in the Industry, crazy song. Knife Talk, song of the year, might be song of the year. 21 Savage is one of the most underrated rappers right now. If he's not in your top 5, maybe even your top 3, you tweaking. I don't know what to tell you. Project Pat, legend. I could keep going. It really, and I'm telling y'all right now, I listened to it front to back. I got lost. There were songs I had to replay a couple of times, but there was no point where I was like, this is sort of butt. I don't want to listen to this. I don't even want to hear this. And for an album to be 21 songs and for me to have that type of reaction, I can't understate that. That means something. You know, if he would have added 6 more songs, who knows? Maybe I would have had the same reaction that I did with Donda, but I didn't. It was just a straight front to back smash of an album. Not every song, it was a lot more rapping Drake than I thought was going to be. I didn't think he was going to come rapping this much. You know, it's an album called Certified Lover Boy. You got the emojis of pregnant women on there. I'm thinking he's going to be singing a lot more. But nah, he really came through with some bars, a lot of bars on this. He had the song with Kid Cudi on there. That was dope. I really enjoyed that. You Only Live Twice with Wayne and Ross. Drake and Rick Ross always come together for a very solid song. That is a very underrated duo in the rap game that I don't think people have paid enough attention to. Every single time they've come together for a song, it's been decent. Shout out to Rick Ross. I don't know what it is, but he brings something good out of Drake and Drake brings something good out of him. But yeah, this is an hour and 26 minutes compared to Kanye's, which is an hour and 48, so 20 minutes less, but it feels like Drake is able to make something a little bit more cohesive with his, and I'm comparing them already. I don't want to get into that just yet. I just wanted to just make that declarative statement because, you know, they're both long albums, but it really feels like Drake was able to make something that didn't. It doesn't feel like I'm listening to a 21 song album. It doesn't. So I got to give Drake a lot of credit on this. This was a very solid. I was pleasantly surprised by it. Pleasantly surprised by both. But this one really just took me off guard because that's not what I was expecting from him. If you haven't heard it yet, go check out Certified Lover Boy. Yo, Jerm here. Just want to tell y'all that if you are looking for some new clothing, looking for some new fresh urban wear, you should go and check out my homeboy's creation, his new brand, Stonerville. It's the hottest urban and weed related clothing that you're going to find. He's got a whole bunch of fresh hoodies outside right now. He's got a whole bunch of fresh shirts in the works. It's just one of the hottest new companies that I've seen this year, and it's only going up from here. So if you have any type of interest in getting some new fresh urban wear and you want something that's fresh, affordable, and just cool to look at, go check out Stonerville brand. You can go check it out online over at stonervillebrand.com. It's created by my friend Juice God. It is the hottest clothes you can find out on the market right now, the hottest new fresh black-owned business you can find on the market right now. So go check it out. When it comes to my comparisons and which album I think is better, what rating I'm going to give it, I'm going to keep it light and simple. I'm going to just tell y'all and then I'll elaborate afterwards. For Donda, I'm going to give it a strong 7. For Certified Lover Boy, I'm going to give it a light 8. I am going to go with, like I said, like it should be obvious already, Certified Lover Boy over Donda. And that's honestly, it just has to do with the fact that this is more, it's more steady and in his lane for Drake. So I have to give him the, the consistency and just, he was dabbling and he was able to make better music on this one just because he was making music that he probably knows how to make better already. Kanye is always feeling to trying to, push the soundscape forward, push everything forward, not stay stagnant, not stay in that same lane. He was never going to be Backpack Ye all his career. He was never going to be whatever he was doing with 808s his entire career. He's never going to be the same person throughout his career. He's always going to try to, keep it going, keep it pushing. And I will say that might have been what sort of held him back from overtaking Drake on this one, because Drake really doubled down on what he was able to, on what he does best. I'm not going to say that it was a complete copy and paste, like just from his older work onto this one, like some people will try to say about Drake. This one, he was experimenting a little bit. There were some different songs in there where it'd be like, this is something I haven't heard from Drake before. This is a different type of style. But it feels like he always is in a way doing what he does best. And that is what propelled him forward on this one. Like I said before, 21 songs, and it feels like I didn't really listen to a 21 song album. I'm going to have to go with you over that one, because there were some points at Donda where I was like, okay, I just might want to pause this for a little bit. I'll come back. I didn't get that from Drake's album, so I think that's really why I'm going to give him the rating I didn't push him forward. It's like I said before, neither of these albums are weak. They're not like parts of their discography where you'll be like, that was dud. But neither one of them is also going to be at the top. I say for Donda, this would probably be, it's going to be on the lower side just because his older works really hold up so well and they're so just well beloved. But for Drake, I think I can put Certified Lover Boy might be like on the cusp of the top 5. It's probably either 5 or 6. It's better than Views. It's better than Scorpion. It's better than Dark Lane Demo. It's better than some of that, but it's still not anywhere close to Nothing Was the Same or Take Care, or If You're Reading This. It's not that. But like I said, it's a solid entry. I want to say that it was a hard choice. It was something that I had to sort of think about. I definitely sort of flip-flopped on which one I was going to put above the other. But just in the end, just listening to Drake stuff, it feels like this has more staying power. Like, this is going to be an album that I feel like next summer there's still going to be some songs on here that are getting some decent play. So I think that Drake definitely I think they pushed each other. I think with all the mess that was going on, I think they both knew, you know what, I can't really have all this going on with this guy, and we're both dropping albums at the same time, and he's just going to come out and drop something that's going to shit on mine. So I think they both were reinvigorated by each other, and I like that. It's always good to see, artists pushing each other. I like to think that the beef isn't as personal and just on site with each other as much as it seems to be, because if they're just doing this to, push each other to make better music, I'm all here for it. Keep doing what you're doing, because we all as listeners are going to benefit from that. But it's like I said, they pushed each other. They both came out with something dope and solid, and we as music fans just have to be grateful for that. So yeah, Certified Lover Boy, I'm going to put that over Donda, but it ain't by much. It's literally just a point. Strong 7 for Donda, light 8 for Certified Lover Boy. I'm going to have to give it to Drake on this round. We'll see who wins the war in the end. That has been it for this installment of the Media Review Wednesday. I had a lot of fun listening to these albums. They have been making my days go by a lot quicker. I'm trying to create a playlist right now of just all the music that I've been listening to over the past couple months, just because it's been a good year for music. I don't care what anybody says. We might still be in a pandemic and everything, but the artists are feeding us. They're giving us good music. It doesn't matter if you're not in a social setting. You just have to enjoy this music because it's all been solid and good. I'm excited for what the future holds. I know that Kanye has been hinting at dropping even more music now that he's gotten his own album out. Hopefully we can see a Watch the Throne 2. Hopefully we can see Drake just coming out, saying, fuck it, I'm gonna drop something else. There's just a lot of good music to be had right now in the music climate. You have to go out and just search for it and listen for it. That has been it for me though. This has been another installment of Media Review Wednesday. You've been tuned into Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Germ. If you didn't know, now you know. And I want to say thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a blessed, beautiful, and wonderful rest of your week.